This is Nicholas Gagnier from the Conquering Hill podcast. Today I have a very special guest. His name is Dartannon Wilson. He's from Greenville, Texas. He's an entrepreneur. He has published 3 books and he's a YouTuber learning about the world. He has a wife and 2 beautiful boys that he loves very much. Thank you so much, Dartannon, for coming on.
No problem, no problem. I appreciate you. It's the honor to be on the podcast. I looked and I just happened to see it in my messages, and it was just I was like, you know what, this seems like a good thing because I'm all about positivity, and I see that's what you're about, positive and uplifting and stuff. So I appreciate the honor for having me on.
Absolutely, yeah. We both are aware of it, right? We have these
Yeah,
positive and negative thoughts that are always in our mind, and sometimes a battle and a struggle
exactly.
to push aside the negative ones to allow the positive thoughts to flourish,
Hmm.
and especially the way this crazy world is. I mean, it's
Exactly.
just drowning us in negativity. I wish
Yeah.
we could turn on a news program or something that would inspire us, or a positive
Right.
story that can
Yeah.
inspire people. Sometimes they are in there, but they're far and few between. But usually, a
Right.
positive story will come out after a negative event. Like
Exactly.
people will create those positive things.
Hmm.
Like it's not the media trying to portray something in a positive light. They're
Right.
always negative and fear and
Yeah.
driven, and that's how they they kind of control the public in a sense. So
Exactly.
it is an everyday practice where we have to push away those negative thoughts, try to stay positive. And
Mhm.
one trick I always try to use is when I'm kind of feeling a little negative or I'm kind of drifting in that
Yeah,
direction, I just try to smile. Just try to smile,
right.
and then that'll force myself to feel a little bit better and
Yeah.
just keep that positivity moving forward.
Exactly, 'cause it's a battle every day, and majority of your day could be going good, and that one moment, sometimes that moment can change everything, and we'll let that dictate the rest of our day or anything like that, but, like you said, we do have those positive and negative thoughts, and there's no better help, looking at the media and see that all they're portraying is negativity, negativity, and once we see something good, it's for what, a couple of days, but then back to the negative grind again. So that's just all we see, and it's tough. It really is tough.
So, tell the audience a little bit about yourself, D'Artagnan. You've published 3 books. What are those
Mhm.
about?
So my first book was actually about my basketball journey because straight out of high school, I had those hoop dreams of playing in college and different things like that, and it just didn't happen for me. I would say I was decent in basketball. I think I could have played in college, which I had some I wouldn't say offers, but some interest from like smaller schools like D3, NAIA, but probably majority D3. But in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm trying to go to the league, and I got to go D1, and that kind of hurt my chances because I didn't realize the politics and everything that went into really just being recruited for basketball. So my first book was just about that dream that I wanted. I went to college. I was able to try for a team, the college I went to, which is Texas A&M Commerce, and I did make the team. Or I did. I felt I was good enough. I got invited to a second tryout and those different things like that, but I just didn't feel ready. And I was like, God, I need a sign and that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And kid you not, months later, I tore my Achilles. So tearing my Achilles, it's
Oof.
like, man, I've been just relying on basketball because I didn't, I knew I was talented, but all I did was basketball. So I never knew what I was good at. And it came to my mind, just dream leaders. What is dream leaders? And we always hear about dream chasers and all that stuff, but I'm like, what happened when you reach that dream? Now you can lead people to their dreams. So that's when
Perfect.
it came to dream leaders. Now I have a foundation. My first book is called Dream Leaders: Becoming the Leader of Your Dreams. Just giving that backstory of how I just came with dream leaders. Now I've been helping the youth. I actually coach a AAU basketball travel team. Not going to be able to do it this year because I was faced with another injury, but just creating something based on what I didn't know to what I know now and just helping the younger generation. So, in my second book, it was just some positive, like, I would say godly inspiration, So, whether if you believe, it's for if you believe, I wouldn't say it's one of those things if you didn't believe, but it was more of godly inspiration. And my third book was Growing by Choice, And this was a book that I wrote, to get in schools because I was on the motivation speaking path and stuff. And I wrote this book called Growing by Choice because I believe growth is a choice where you're growing to be a leader, growing, to be a business person, growing just in your life. And I made a curriculum around it, to help kids and even staff members just grow in their profession and those different things like that because it's so important to grow in whatever you're doing, because we see the beginning of it and it might be slow, but we don't realize the more you keep going, the more you're going to learn, the more you're going to be able to do. And that's when the growth is going to come once you start learning and just do more. So those are my first three books. I have a lot of books that I planned on writing, but I
Hmm.
just felt like it wasn't the time. I wrote these books back when I was 22, 23. I'm 27 now. So I wrote those books back
Awesome.
when.
Congratulations. Good for
Yeah,
you.
appreciate it. And,
And
I
where
just
where can we find those books?
you can find them on Amazon. You can actually find them on Amazon. The first one, Dream Leaders, Becoming the Leader of Your Dreams. The second one is The Positive Notebook. And the third one is Growing by Choice by Dartannon Wilson.
Awesome. Good for
Yes,
you.
sir.
Now, which book do you feel was most fulfilling and completing? Because I know I've wrote a few
Yeah.
books, and it can be a difficult process at times. You're battling. It's really
Yeah.
just a battle amongst with yourself to do it because there's no one
Right.
else that's going to do it for you unless you have a ghostwriter, right? But which
Yeah.
one was more fulfilling for you?
I think I would say that first one because I was working two jobs at a time and I had like an old MacBook that I bought off of Amazon and it was like 300
Mhm.
bucks and the battery sucked. So I had to keep it on the charger at all times or it would go out
Hey, that
and
sounds like
like
mine.
yeah, it would go out in like 20 minutes if I did it without the battery. But, I had a job that, usually when I finish cleaning or something like that, like Boys and Girls Club. So I worked in education, after school programs and stuff like that. And once I finished at the Boys and Girls Club, I just forced myself to stay after and just, type that book, and
Mhm.
first started just writing those chapters. Like my first book, it came to me overnight. It wasn't one of those things, oh, I'm gonna do that. It just came to me overnight because I knew I wanted to write a book. And I had another one in place that was supposed to be my first book, but this one came to me overnight. I had the titles, I had the title of it, I had the context, the chapters of it. I had everything. So it was just me sitting there writing, and it was so tough just because I just knew like, and at the time, my son was just born too, so I had a newborn child, and that was probably the most challenging one. Then I would
Mhm.
say the third one that I wrote, the second one I wrote, it was just a bunch of stuff that I was tweeting on like Twitter, and then I just put it
Mhm.
together in chapters and just added to it. But the third one was
Mhm.
even tougher because now I have a family, I'm married, and I'm
Mhm.
forcing myself to wake up early because I know in the middle of the day that's not getting done because I got kids and
No,
all that.
no, no.
And then COVID happened, so it was during all that, so it was just a crazy time. But that first one for sure, just learning how to write a book because it's a lot of information that you need. And when I realized that all that I need, and once I got it done, it was definitely fulfilling.
Absolutely. Fantastic. So you sound like a very motivated person,
Oh yes,
D'Artagnan, and
sir.
that's wonderful. So what is your why? Where do you get that strength from sometimes when
I
you
feel
need it
like
the
that.
most?
Yeah, I feel like that strength definitely comes from family. My mom definitely a big inspiration in my life. Just seeing her life and the changes she made for me and my brothers and sisters, that made me realize like, you really can determine your future. You really can determine the life you want to live by the choices you make. And just seeing my mom make those changes and then growing up, I didn't grow up with, the best of neighborhoods and the people I was around and stuff like that. But eventually, when I was in high school, I had a decision to make, and I think that changed my life forever. And just doing that, seeing her life, and just making those changes in my own life because I knew one day I'll have a family, one day I'll be successful enough to, take care of my family so nobody will have to worry. So that's why I jumped on this entrepreneur route because I'm like, I went to college, but I feel like college is one of those things. It's for your personal, it's for yourself, and it's just that good of an achievement. But I didn't feel like that was going to help, my mother. That wasn't going to help if I needed to help brothers, or even just doing what I do now with communities and stuff like that. I didn't feel like that wasn't enough, at least to do all of that. But I knew entrepreneurship, one good month could change everything. A couple of days,
Hmm.
or like just me doing YouTube, I know that one video could change everything forever. So for sure, my mother, and then like I said, I have when I met my wife, she had a son, and then we had a son together. So now I got two young boys that's looking at me every day, for their
Hmm.
future as well. And they see me they watch YouTube all the time. They don't watch my videos, but they see me. They should be watching them, but they see me every day come in here, do YouTube and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. And then sometimes they get in a video too. So that's definitely my why, just so they can have a sustainable and good future for themselves. So
Yeah, I think it's very important to be a positive role model for our children,
yeah,
right? Because, you know, th- such a young age, they're looking up to us, as we're their heroes, right? So
exactly.
every little thing we do, and maybe and I can be a culprit. Sometimes I'm not. Maybe I don't recognize it as much as like the little things that I
Hmm.
do say or I don't do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's part of the process of learning and growing. As a kid growing up,
Hmm.
where you do realize, yeah, your parents are great and they are your role
Yeah.
models, and you want to put them up on a big pedestal too.
Right.
But as you get
Exactly.
older too, you realize, you know what, I belong on a pedestal. I
Yeah.
can be up there as well. Like I did. My parents are great. I love them, but at the
Hmm.
same time, I want to do more than what my parents
Exactly.
accomplished.
Yeah.
And we should want our children to do more than what we have
Exactly.
accomplished in life. So
Yep.
to keep progressing, in a positive manner
Hmm.
in regards to our family sphere, and but also like you branch out to AAU basketball teams, and you said the
Right.
boys and girls clubs, right? And the
Hmm.
helping the youth. That's great to be able to give back to the
Hmm.
community in that sense, because not everyone does that. Not everyone
Exactly.
has the time. Not everyone wants to make that choice. Not everyone's passionate about it as
Hmm.
well. You have to be passionate about something if
Exactly.
you want to
Yeah.
give back to the community, because then you really have that knowledge to share. Because if you're just
Right.
going through the motions, then you're not really helping anyone.
Exactly. Yeah. Because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Because I first started doing the AAU basketball when I was 21. So I'm still in college, and I had a freshman group. So and now I have those same freshman guys. They come back and help. And now they're 21, but but they're playing. Like, no, two of them playing high level basketball now. So it's like, see what I was doing at 21 versus what you're doing at 21. Like, it just goes to show what, like you said, what you're passionate about. Because not everybody 21, we think 21 turn up or something like that, but that's not always the case for everybody. Everybody just have different things in mind to do. So, but yeah, it's a lot of work when you want to help the community.
Absolutely. Now tell me a little about the your being a YouTuber and a YouTube creator. What is that like?
So for me, I've always done YouTube. I always did like motivational videos. When I first came up with Dream Leaders, our goal was to get on YouTube, and our goal was to just motivate people that was on they were on the road to success or successful. So me and a buddy of mine, we were interviewing like the 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 dean. I think we almost got a chance to interview the dean, but we were just interviewing people on campus, some of the professors and different things. And we actually got a chance to interview Deion Sanders' son, Deion Sanders Jr. So we were just reaching out trying to interview people that were successful or on the road to success. And that's where I really started with YouTube, just using my camera phone off my iPhone. I'm like, the iPhone is getting better with the camera. I'm gonna just update my phone every year. I had the iPhone Forever plan or whatever, so that's what I did. Storage space, it was tough, but the iPhone got it done. Then as I progressed and got a better camera and stuff, I was just on the motivational, just trying to uplift and everybody. But like we just talked about earlier, you have those positive and those negative moments. Like some moments I didn't feel like making a video. Some moments, it wasn't that day to like give because how I was feeling. And I know some people can wake up every day and just post content, but I'm like, I really got to feel it in order to post it.
I
And
agree.
a buddy of mine, I was telling him about YouTube because, it's COVID. We're working, and my son, he was 2 at the time. There was this group called Two Hype, and it's like a bunch of YouTube creators, and they were doing basketball videos. My son, he loved basketball, so he was watching these guys, and I'm just looking. And I'm telling my partner, I'm like, hey man, these guys making millions of dollars and they just having fun. Like they're just here playing basketball, having. I'm like, have you ever tried YouTube? I'm like, man, you might need to get started. Do it. I've been doing it. I wasn't even monetized yet when I'm telling him that, but I knew the possibilities of it. So he started recording off his phone, and eventually he got a camera and stuff. He was like, man, I started doing these reactions. I've been watching people do like music reactions and stuff. So he was doing music reactions to his favorite songs, and he eventually started, people were recommending some country music, and he started doing country music, and his channel just skyrocketed. And when I tell you it skyrocketed, like in a few months, he was already almost at 20K subscribers just in 2 to 3 months of doing music reactions. So I was like, man, I don't know, because I'm a quiet guy. I'm laid back. I don't really get on the camera too much, and I'm just seeing his growth. And I was just like, man, what was that group you did? I said, I think I'm gonna give it a try just to see how it is. I never had 1,000 views on YouTube. Like I'm just posting videos hoping to get 100. And the first video I posted was a group called Pentatonics. I think it was a song "Sound of Silence" that they performed, and I was amazed because I was like, I can do this group. Like, because I wasn't sure about country. I heard a few country songs. I mean, now I'm hooked. Now I know a lot of country songs, but Pentatonics, Sound of Silence. I posted it before me and my wife. I think we had a date night. We went out to eat, and I'm just looking. I'm like, in like an hour, it had like almost 2,000 views. Then overnight, it had like 4,000 views. I said, I got to keep this going. I got to keep it going. And like a month later, I was monetized. Just doing at first, I was just doing pentatonics, and people started recommending other songs for me to do and those different things. So I started out with a music channel of just doing music reaction, listening to music I never heard and stuff. So and
When you say music reaction, what do you listen to the song and then you post your opinion, or are you dancing, or
right.
what exactly are you doing?
So basically, like how my setup is right here that you see, I just have a
Mhm,
camera in front of me. I
mhm.
have a screen. I'm just looking at the screen, and I'm just giving my like opinion or reaction to that song. So, and there's a lot that goes into a reaction because with copyright and stuff. But I'm just listening. One of my favorites is Toby Keith, and I'm just listening to Toby Keith. Then by the hour, after a minute pass or so, now I'm telling them what I think about that verse or the hook or the video and stuff, and I just let it play. Every so often you got to stop it, and I'm just letting people know how I feel about the song, and that's it. And,
Wow.
and people love it. It's an automatic audience because people love music. Music is everywhere, so almost
Right,
any
right.
song just about works.
Nice, nice. It sounds like
Yeah.
you found your niche there. That's cool. That's
Yes,
cool.
sir. But then, I mean, that changed later because the beginning of last year, I was like, you know what, I want to try something different because I'm like, I don't even listen to music all the time. Most time I'll listen to podcasts and stuff. So I'm like, I want to learn about the world. Like, I need to learn about
Mhm,
something. I seen this other guy. He was doing music reaction, but he was also learning about other countries in Europe. So I
mhm.
reached out to him like, hey man, I'm trying to learn about different countries. Like, what country do you think and the first country I started learning about was the Netherlands. So start learning about the Netherlands, then those videos start taking off. And then me and my buddy, we left our job because we were like we believed in YouTube, and I was just like, man, I just feel the need to start this channel. I just feel the need to start this channel and just learn about the world. And I started it, and fast forward to today, I hit 20K subscribers. So just learning about the world, and that's what I do full time. So it's been a good journey, and I actually like learning about the world because now
Mhm.
it kind of boosts me to want to make something happen to start traveling the world as well. So and just see the different things. So, but it's definitely been a
So
journey.
you are a full-time YouTuber now. You do not punch in at a job.
No, sir. The most I do, I still go do like the Instacart, Spark, like those delivery type of things,
Okay.
depending. But other than that, I wake up every morning and do YouTube. So
Nice, nice. Good for
yes,
you.
sir.
Yeah, it's that you're your own machine, right? You're
Yeah,
your own business, right? A true entrepreneur,
exactly.
right? So you're gonna go as far as you put the work in, which is
Exactly.
a wonderful thing. And I think if we all kind of had that same mentality, whether or not it's
Mhm.
YouTube or not, but if we had the entrepreneurial spirit, we
Yeah.
could propel ourselves to great lengths because the
Exactly.
ball is in our court, and we know if we are passionate about something and we
Mhm.
put that time and energy into something that we can accomplish it. So why not
Exactly.
have that spirit instead of relying on someone else's dream? So the
Exactly.
word the saying goes, if you're not living your dream, you're living someone else's.
Exactly.
You know, so
Yeah.
I think it's sometimes it's easier for people to yeah, you go to school, you go to
Mhm.
university, and you learn something, and then you know you would get a job in that field, and you're
Yeah.
happy, and you're doing all the right things like society wants you
Mhm.
to. um, but at the same time, you know that you could be missing out on tremendous personal
Yeah.
growth because now you're expanding your horizons, you're
Mhm.
trying different things, your networking is completely different because
Yeah.
now you're forced you're forcing
Yeah.
yourself to go out into the world and become a sponge of all this different types of information
Exactly.
in order just to in a way survive because
Yeah.
now you are really surviving on your own merits, your own
Yep.
talents, instead of working underneath someone, you know, someone else's dreams, someone else's
Exactly.
ideas, right? Which, don't get me wrong, people have been doing it for a long time and they have a
Mhm.
beautiful family, they have a beautiful life, and that's
Yeah.
their choice, and that's perfectly fine. um, I listen. I own a business here in Panama, and I'm here
Mhm.
about 6 months of the year. And generally, I'm back in the United States working about 6 months of the year.
Mhm.
I've always worked in the restaurant business. I've had great relationships along the way. So I was able to always go back and
Yeah.
forth and work. And it's been a great thing. It's allowed me to come here and build this
Mhm.
business. And I'm very grateful for that.
That's
And
good.
if I would never had those personal relationships at that
Mhm.
particular restaurant, I don't know if I would have done it this way or I
Yeah.
could have done it this way. So I've been blessed in that sense. But um, the power of living your dream
Mhm.
is something that you you can only express it in so many words,
Yeah.
because everyone's dream is different, and the power
Mhm.
for that person to live their dream is different from what my power to live my dream is.
Right.
You know, we might use the same some of the same methods and
Mhm.
you know tactics to get there, but at the same time, you know that energy inside of you, that motivation inside of
Right.
you, your particular why is different from my why, you
Mhm.
know, and like how you're going to go about and doing it, you know, all these your creativeness, your you know your passion, everything is different. It's unique to you.
Yep.
And that's the beautiful thing about life. If you can find your true passion and you can live your
Mhm.
dream, that that is maybe that is the true meaning of life in a
Yeah.
sense, you know, like your life purpose. You found it instead of, you know, punching in nine to
Mhm.
five, going to a job you don't like just to get
Yeah.
by, just to put food on the table. When you get stuck in that perpetual spiraling
Mhm.
work, it could be
Right.
it could drown you in depression and
Uh-huh.
despair, you know, like it's
It
and I
drains you.
don't it can drain you, and I don't blame anyone for being there because you do have to put food on the table and you have
Right.
to do certain things, and you have to raise a family, and you just need to survive. And I'll never question someone's
Mhm.
uh you know I their purpose in that
Yeah.
sense, you know. But I know there's more for you.
Yep.
There's more for you if you want it, and then, but at the same time, but if you're going to put yourself through that same monotonous schedule,
Mhm.
and there's an out, and you're not taking that out, you
Yeah.
know, there's where the line is. Like you have an opportunity here, just go for it.
Yeah. And most times too, when people work jobs, they might work it for 10, 15 years. And by their
Hmm.
time, I've seen plenty of people, by that time they work for a job 10, 15 years, then they step out and just start their own business, you know? And like you were saying, like just having the opportunity and realizing time, I feel like time is everything. You know, I have some months where I make more than I did at my job and stuff, but like you said, it's up to me. Every day I wake up, I know that it's up to me to go out and get it because before having a job, I already had my schedule planned out for me. You know, somebody already had what I needed to do type of thing and all those there. Now I have to do that myself. And I was just telling my partner, my homie, I was like, we traded a 9 to 5 for a 24 hour because it don't stop. It don't stop at all. You know, it's like I can take vacation days, but now I'm gonna have to put in a lot more work, you know, to get those days off. But like you trade when you're an entrepreneur, you trade in that 9 to 5 for a 24-hour job. And you know, that 24 hours can be a long, stressful 24 hours, or you might have a good flex of where you had a hard 2 hours you worked and you got the rest of your day. But and I know entrepreneurship isn't for everybody, but kind of like you said, like people just go do the same routine over and over and over. And these companies, what are they offering people? I seen a guy, I think guy worked at Burger King for like 20 years or something, and they just gave him some coupons and a hat or something like that. And you know, the whole community raised like 150 or $200,000 on a GoFundMe because they like this man served y'all for 20 years and y'all just give him a hat and a few coupons. It's like I know if I have a good month on YouTube and I work really hard, you know, I don't need the employee of the year, you know, little banner or whatever they little postcard that they will give you. You know, I don't need a because I can print that myself. You know, it's a lot of things you could do. But I'm like, you know, I'm not working to be an employee of the month. I know if I worked hard, it's gonna show with my funds, you know, because you can go all out for a company. They can value you, they can love you, and all those things. But at the end of the day, that pay is gonna be the same. If you really know my value, it's like we can look at sports right now, NFL, NBA. When the value is high on a player, they're getting the millions of dollars. Not the people that's not playing. They're not. I mean, the NBA, they're getting millions, but you know, the higher the value, the more they're going to make. So I was like, why don't I just put that energy into my own thing and, you know, just raise my value? And since I've started YouTube, I learned how to vlog. I learned how to do video editing. I learned how to stream. I learned picked up like 10 different skills versus working for somebody, just learning myself, you know, like talk about college. I went to college and I learned more just seeking it myself versus going to college, you know, and just learning basically what I just learned 12 years ago, you know, from primary school to high school. And now my first 2 years of college is basically the same math, the same English, and all these things. And you don't really jump into your like your profession or your career type of classes until like that third year. So I was just like, you know, I'm not gonna pursue my masters. I'm just gonna master my craft and make that change. So
I like that. I'm not going to
yeah,
pursue my master's. I'm just going to master my
yeah,
craft.
that's
That
all you
is
got to do.
perfect. Very
Yeah.
cool, D'Artagnan. Yeah, you know what? If we can master our craft and we can figure out what we're
Hmm.
passionate about and we can master that particular talent,
Exactly. Yep.
you will be unstoppable.
Hmm.
I mean, granted, maybe if you want to be a basketball player, yeah, some people say you got to be so tall, right? But look what
Right.
Muggsy Bogues and Spud Webb did,
Right.
right? They were
Exactly.
5'8", 5'6", whatever the hell they were, right?
Yeah.
You know, a football player. Well, guess what? There's some short football players out there
Yeah.
too, right? I mean, there's quarterbacks that are 5'10", 5'9"
Yeah.
out there, right? So you can't put limitations necessarily on your height, but if you are passionate about something,
Hmm.
uh, and you can master that, you know, the possibilities are really endless in your life,
Exactly. Yep.
but it does require work.
A
And, you
lot
know,
of work. Yep.
sometimes people get stuck and they're afraid
Hmm.
with what they're going to have to do in order to reach that point. They can see it. That's
Yeah.
there. Oh, I know I can get there. But that distance between that point is what really will stop a lot of people
Exactly.
in their tracks because
Hmm.
they know it's going to require work and they know they have this sense of rejection or fear for whatever
Yeah.
reason
Fear of
and
failure or something.
fear of failure
Mhm.
and also that the fear of starting. You
Yep.
know, some
Yep.
people won't. They'll think about it, but they'll just never start
Mhm.
it. You know,
Yeah,
they'll have this great idea, but they'll never start working towards that great idea
exactly.
or on that great idea. And I always tell people, just the first thing you got to do, just to move forward, is just start.
Yep.
Just start. It doesn't matter what you have. It doesn't
Exactly.
matter where you are. You know, if you're having a bad day, just do something small.
Yeah, I
Just
was
get the ball rolling.
yeah,
You're having a great day. You'll see how far you can take it, and
exactly.
you'll probably even impress yourself along the way. Like, wow, I was able to do that today. You know
Yeah.
what? That's a great day. You know, I'm going to come back tomorrow. I'm going to come back stronger, and I'm going to do even better than I did today
Mhm.
because now I have that confidence. You know, to have
Exactly.
self confidence can really propel you in life. When you have self doubt, that's when you can really get in trouble and really
Yeah.
hinder your development.
A whole lot, cause like you said, just taking that step. I would tell people, baby steps is still progress. Like long as you're moving forwards and not backwards, you're still gonna be making progress. And just the fear of starting that stopped me at first from wanting to write my first book because I'm like, how do I start? And I'm looking up YouTube videos. I'm looking on Google. Like you just got to seek out the information. Like whatever you want to do in life, whatever you want to try to do, you are able to find that if you just go look for the information. Of course you can have people that can sell you the information and all that. It's like most time you're not going to have the money that they're trying to, they're asking for, or to get the information they got. So sometimes if you're just making those baby steps and just going at your own pace, in due time it's going to come. And that's what I've seen with my life, because I've been in those spaces where they have free workshop, people have free workshops, or they have a $20 workshop, but at the end they sell you the bigger product, and it's like almost $2,000 to $4,000, which is not bad, because like that just gives you, they you skipping the line basically. You skipping some things, but it's like if you just trust the process of your life, then everything is just going to map out accordingly. And I feel like just taking that longer route or the slower route, I start learning a lot about me. I start picking up new things. It's almost like what's the tortoise and the rabbit, or whatever it is, the race. You've seen many videos how the rabbit, he could have finished a long time ago, but he started chilling and started doing things that really didn't matter. And going that slow route, I just can look ahead, pick up a skill here, pick up a skill there, and still just keep going. That's the main thing. Just keep going. Never know how good life can get unless you keep going. If I was to end it right now, that means I just robbed myself of the opportunity of knowing how great life can be later, especially if I made that choice to, take myself out of here, out of life. I just robbed myself on what I could be, potentially be, how good things can become. So,
Very nice, D'Artagnan. You know what? Thank you so much for coming on. Tell
no
the audience
problem.
where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter at Dartannon. You can find me on YouTube as Dar the Traveler. I'm a traveler. Eventually, I'll be a traveler, but those are my
Well, you
three
got
main spots I be.
well, you got to come on down here, travel down to Panama to
Oh,
Sour
for
Sop
sure.
Hostel. We'll host you. We'll host a podcast here as well.
For sure. That'd be cool.
Thank you, D'Artagnan, so much. Take
No
care.
problem. You
Bye
too.
bye.
Thank you.
And if you would like to support the podcast, please visit Amazon.com and search Conquering Hill, 50 writing prompts for a dream chaser. And also visit Etsy.com and search Conquering Hill for all our gear. Thank you.